It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the realm of geekdom. This is nerd breaking news. Now that the playoffs are closing for the second half over here, we're looking at the Lakers pretty much close to elimination. And the big question that a lot of people are asking in LA and all over the NBA is, what is going to LeBron do, right? Does LeBron return to the Lakers, or will he decide to go somewhere else? Let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's start with you, kid.
My heart, my head says he stays because this is the longest he's ever been in a team. I think it's 8 years.
It's crazy.
He's never been in no other franchise this long. He has Hollywood ties. He has Rich Paul dating celebrities. He's tied to the LA world. His kid is nearby in college. I think this is my head says he stays. What I think is going to happen, I think he stays. But I just think if I had to put money on, I don't think LeBron wants to end his career by people acknowledging him or thinking of him being a third fiddle to AR-15 and Luka. So I think he will leave, but I just think that if the betting odds, I think he stays. But if he leaves, I think that what he wants people to remember, because when we last think of players, we last think of the last moments, right? We think of Brady with the Bucks, even though he played a little bit longer. Manning with the Super Bowl. We last think of the image of the thoughts that we have with these great players. I don't think LeBron, with the size, the ego that he has in Montana, I don't think he wants to be that third fiddle. Look what he did in the playoffs. Look what he did when somebody got injured. It was Austin Reeves or Luka. I remember recently, like a month ago, where he yelled out and they recorded him and nearby in the fans, and he said, "Oh, this is what I do. They just put me here. This is what X, Y, and Z." He doesn't like being third fiddle. He doesn't like the fact this is Luka's team. He doesn't like the fact that AR-15 should be the second best player in the damn team, but his fan base won't allow it. When his own with Rich Paul, his manager, when his own manager has said numerous times before and after the playoff, or even during the playoff, AR-15 should go. He's just not there. It's all propaganda. This guy is the greatest media manipulator in the history of sports. I think that he's either going to go with Curry or Cleveland. He doesn't have the balls to go to New York. He don't want a piece of New York. He don't want that Madison Square Garden media and all that stuff. And hey, kudos to Cat, by the way. He took the media and he did everything. Kudos to him. Anyways, next are going to win times. Anyways, LeBron, I just think that's what it is. I think he either goes home to Cleveland, because let me tell you, that Cleveland series, James Harden actually did something. I had to replay to make sure it wasn't 2009. He actually did something in the playoffs. If they come back in that series, it's 2-1 against Detroit right now, and they win and they beat Detroit, Cleveland has the offensive firepower to match the Knicks. I think he'll probably see himself, hey, I'm the missing piece to Cleveland. Could I end my season there? Because he wants a retirement farewell tour. He's lying. I didn't think about that X, Y, and Z. He wants that. He's so egotistical. He's the most narcissistic player in the history of sports. The NBA will be better without him. I just think that if I had money, I think he stays with the Lakers. But if he does leave, I think he's either going to Cleveland or the great Steph Curry.
Well, they're going to come after you, kid. Eagle, what's your take as our NBA analyst over here?
I think there's a lot of things that we have to consider. Great point by the kid, laying it out and basically saying, like, there's a lot of convenience and LeBron staying in LA business wise is a very smart decision. It might help the fact that he probably still wants his kid to do one more season in the NBA, and the only place where that's going to happen is the team where he is right now. I mean, it could happen that basically he leaves to Cleveland, and then the Lakers basically waive Brownie, right? There's not going to be a cap hit situation. He doesn't earn that much money. They don't care. And we all know the minute that LeBron retires or changes teams, I mean, they're gonna do the same thing with Bronny. Maybe they keep it 1 year, but I would assume that LeBron would want him to follow him wherever he goes. But to be completely honest, I also think that this is an opportunity for the Lakers to actually move on from LeBron. We know that they got a championship with him, but I think it's time to acknowledge that they also have a superstar for the future, right? And Luka Doncic. And whether a lot of people don't like Luka, Luka is their best chance to win rings down the line, plain and simple, instead of LeBron. LeBron is more thinking about, how can I win next year? It's not that the Lakers are not thinking that, but they have to build the team based on Luka. I don't know about, AR-15. I don't know what's going to happen with Austin Reeves. It's a lot of money. There's a lot of money they would have to commit to a player that it has shown inconsistencies, right? Like what matters is when you come to the playoffs, you need to show up. The Lakers are trying to win a championship. He hasn't shown up so far. So I think also that the situation of new management coming in, right? There's new ownership. And I also think that, it was reported that they didn't like the fact that he opted in, right? When he opted in for those $50 million, that's probably money that they were planning on using to retool around Luka. That didn't happen. I think that they don't joke around this money, and they basically say, hey, LeBron, if you want to stay, we'll probably offer you the minimum. But if you want to compete, you're better off maybe, going on a farewell tour with Golden State or go back to Cleveland. And then you can retire in Cleveland, right? Like that's home for you, technically. First team that drafted you or whatnot. So I think it's over for LeBron. They lose tomorrow. That series they get swept by OKC, and I don't think his future is in Los Angeles. It's just not gonna happen.
Professor.
I think there's a problem when you're really, really good at something and the people around you aren't. So if you're LeBron and you're pushing 40 years old and you're still able to compete at a high level, how do you even look at people who are around 30 that are nowhere near your level, and that's who you have to play with? Like, how do you look at them with any kind of respect, especially when they're not even your friends at that? So these aren't his boys that he's playing with. They're the people that the Lakers assigned to him. Now at the same time, you're finding out that your boss doesn't want to pay you, so you've got that on top of it. Then you find out that your replacement, you're pretty much training your replacement like day to day. Then your replacement didn't even show up to work because he's injured. So you stop and you're like, what? Then your next best wingman, he's hurt too. You had to call him back from his sick leave to come in and to help you try to win. But then when you're looking at that didn't even work, and you got swept anyways. So the way I see it going is like this. He's going to go to the front office. He's going to say, I'm thinking about staying. To the Eagles' point, they're going to say, then take this minimum. And he's going to sit down. He's going to look at the same ESPN trade machine that we all look at. He's going to look at the points per game, the plus minus, all that stuff. And he's going to realize, I'm taking the minimum to play with trash? Oh, heck nah. And he's going to get the heck out of there. And I think that because of how he tends to look at basketball and this understanding that he needs a wingman who can cover up for his deficiencies, I think he looks at Cleveland, he looks at New York, he looks at Detroit. So I'm not saying he's going to go to New York. I'm saying he thinks about it. And he looks at Detroit to say, hey, maybe I can fit into what these guys are doing. And let me bring another one of my guys over. I'll take a little bit less money, and we do it that way. But ultimately, I think that he wants to go out competitive. Because what LeBron James can't allow to happen is for him to play the Lakers again next season, and our final memory of him is to get swept again by Shai Gilgeous and the OKC Thunder. And if you're looking at the current trajectory, that is how LeBron's career is looking to end. He can't let that happen. That's a bad look. And in my view, the NBA set him up this time around by having this little combination happen right here. It's like a little passing of a torch thing a little bit. And LeBron, as we all know, doesn't want to give the torch to anybody.
Professor, you don't think the Lakers are going to get Greek Freak or York, anybody in the summer?
No.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, when you're looking at it, one, who wants what they have to offer in terms of trades?
Yeah, Rui and all these boys. Yeah.
Two, Lakers fans, no offense, TK, they come with a lot of drama. And on top of it too, And I know a lot of folks disagree with me on this, but building a team around Luka Doncic is a very, very difficult thing to do when you're considering that teams tend to take up the identity of their best player. So when your best player is an offensive juggernaut, the people around him are going to want to shoot a lot of threes too. But when he doesn't necessarily have that same effort for defense, they're not going to do that. So in order to build around him, you need to have people who just really, really love defense. And those players in the modern NBA are very hard to come by. So the reality of it is that in order to really build around Luka, you probably would have to draft those people and mold them the way you want. You're not going to be able to get them through free agency and trades, I don't think. So they're kind of stuck. And I think the other star players know that. Like the only star player that I can think of that could fit Luka is maybe Kawhi or something like that.
He's too old.
But he's too old. Yeah. Exactly.
And
I think if you start looking at individual pieces, you kind of see what the dilemma is. Wiggins would work, but Miami's not gonna. Why would they do that?
You know who I like for the Lakers? Kelly Oubre.
Why?
3-and-D.
Are we sure about the D part? I know it used to be 3-and-D. I don't see 3 working anymore.
He did get torched by the Knicks, but that's fine.
He got annihilated by that. Was he even there? Was he even there?
We're gonna win the championship with the Knicks. Or Knicks, anyways.
Yeah,
you're the resident Laker fan. What's up?
It's money. That's going to be the deciding factor for everything over here, in my opinion. I think, we heard those news about how the management were kind of shocked that he took his $50 million this season. They were not expecting that. They were expecting him to leave. I have the feeling that they still feel the same way. They want to go ahead and build around Luka, and if he wants to stick around, just like the professor said, you're going to have to take the minimum. And I don't think he wants to do that. So in reality, it's going to be, can they figure out something money-wise where LeBron is happy enough to stay in LA? Because that's the only way I can see him stay in LA. But, that's just staying in LA. You don't have the team to build around it. And I also feel kind of like what you guys said, like he doesn't want to just end his career against OKC in the first round, swept again. He's probably going to go somewhere. More than likely, he's going to go towards the East because it's just so much easier for him. He's going to be able to show off a little bit more. He's going to have a little bit more liberty to be able to do what he wants to do and be the supposed quote-unquote GOAT here of our generation, right? He can't do that in the West. It's too competitive. It's too rough.
You saw what Jeannie Buss said.
His body needs to relax.
Well, you saw what Jeannie Buss said, that hit piece Jeannie Buss did like 3 months ago, right? That detailed relationship between LeBron, how she felt about LeBron, and obviously they sold the team. Here's the thing. So the Laker fans, and on the fake world called Twitter, the Laker fans believe that that LeBron comes back, they're cool with it to a degree, because who do they got to replace him in the starting 5? That's their argument.
Exactly.
If they get him for a reduced cut and then he comes back and gives you 17 a game, their argument is let's rebuild around Luka, keep the 42-year-old guy, and then what do we do with AR-15? My question is, to all you guys is, if I'm the Lakers, I'm just like, you have a 27-year-old superstar. Why are we doing this? Just give everything to Luka. Here, Luka, blank check, whatever you want. And let Luka, go to Luka before go to LeBron. Hey, Luka, do you want this guy? And see what Luka says. That's what I would do, not LeBron. Who cares about LeBron?
When you say, do you want this guy, are you saying that the Lakers should ask Luka?
What do you want, Luka? Correct.
Well, I'm trying to understand your question. Are you saying
I'm saying the Lakers.
I wouldn't do that.
Go to Luka and be like, what do you want?
Yeah, Luka doesn't have. Listen, as much as I like Luka, Luka doesn't have good judgment.
Oh,
he's a good basketball offensive player, and look how. Yes. We can literally in 2 seconds. He was overweight. He wasn't focused on defense. There's a few things that you have to fix with this guy. But at the end of the day, why are we saying this? And like, hey, focus on Luke instead of the 42-year-old Braun. Braun is a 42-year-old man that you don't know if next season, listen, he can spend all his money on training, weights, drugs, in the sense of like not real drugs, but you know what I'm saying, like HGH, right? Like hormone growth.
Hold on. He denied it though. He's been denying it.
We can't be saying stuff like that.
I put it out there
Eagles breaking news right now. Eagles breaking right now.
on this close sources. Tell me.
Allegedly.
LeBron takes AGH per local Dominican.
Oh my. All right. So the point is, I don't ask Luka about it. I tell Luka what's the plan and basically tell him this is LA. This is the Lakers.
Wow.
This is not Dallas. I'm sorry. And this is how we're going to afford. Yes, you're going to be the focus. You're going to be the offense. But you also have to stay in shape. You have to focus a little bit on defense. Okay? Maybe JJ Redick goes. There has to be a change. And I'm sorry. It just has to be.
Mhm.
But it's the high road, but it's the best road in terms of the Lakers going forward, moving a championship. Now, is it the perfect world that LeBron stays with the minimum salary? Man, it's just hard to believe that LeBron is just going to do that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And
Correct.
adding to the Eagles' point, so okay, you've got this guy, offensive juggernaut. Who would the offensive juggernaut want to play with? Probably other offensive juggernauts. But guess what? That's probably not what they need to do. They need someone to cover up all the other things that have to happen. When
That's
you
what happened in Dallas, though, to your point. That's what happened in Dallas. Dallas got 3-and-D dudes and a center to rim protect that allowed Dallas to play the style they want to play with Luka hitting up PJ Washington and the rest of these boys on the corner threes.
Exactly. And kid, like when you look at the roster and you look at exactly who they had on the roster, how the heck do you build that again? Like that's a combination of luck and long-term.
You can't do it with these boys. Like Marcus Smart can't give you 20 like that.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Luke
going to
Kennard,
take years.
yeah.
It'll take years to build the kind of team that he used to play with in Dallas. Like 2 to 3 years. LeBron
I'll
will be
say
long
this.
Mhm.
Sorry, Professor. I'll say this.
Yeah.
The only reason why the Lakers, and I'm going to give credit to LeBron, the only reason why they made it so far and they were able to beat the Rockets, even though the Rockets were a horrible team, right? Is LeBron. To you guys' points, the players right now on the roster, somehow LeBron made it work. Okay, because LeBron's style of play. If you remove LeBron out of the equation this year in this playoffs, maybe the Rockets have enough to beat them. If it's Luka playing alone instead of LeBron playing along with this group of players, there's an argument to be made that maybe Luka doesn't.
You're saying if you switch
Because
LeBron and
different
Luka,
play
Luka might
style.
lose
I
to the
agree.
Rockets.
1,000%. He's right.
It's the
No,
play
right.
style. It's the play style and the personnel that you have. That's
Luka was
basically what they're
14
saying.
people. He's hitting 37.
Nah.
Luka
Eagles.
was 14
No, but the
people.
personnel that you have right now, it literally is built around LeBron James and LeBron James style playing, not really built for that isolation Luka style that he does.
Exactly.
He still led the league in points.
Yeah, he can, but when you drop 47 and you allow 37,
Yeah, because the moment they start putting some pressure on him and he has to dump the ball around, he doesn't have where to dump correctly because everybody else is the personnel right now is more about building that kind of like pick and roll for LeBron James. So when he gets
100%.
stuck and he tries to play that right, it just doesn't fit his style of play.
I think if LeBron comes back, it'll be a huge disservice to Luka beating the man in LA.
Mhm.
I mean that's a fair point, but I think it's a different point. I agree with that point completely.
You're saying from the basketball sense, it makes sense LeBron comes back.
No, Eagles' point was that if the Lakers didn't have LeBron at all, and Luka was there in LeBron's place, Luka would not have been able to lead that Lakers squad against the Houston, and they probably would have lost.
No, hell no. Luka puts 40 in these boys. They play no defense. The Rockets played no defense.
Neither does Luka.
Luka could literally be napping on the floor. Like he'd be like, go ahead.
But you made his team like LeBron's an All-NBA first team. He's 41.
Yeah, but the thing,
You made his team like LeBron played defense against the Rockets.
He did. And I'm a critic. Like I didn't want to admit it, but he did.
Man,
I gotta give it to him.
This Luka slander is rough.
I mean, Luka's still great at dropping 47. More power to him. Yeah, gotta give credit where credit's due.
Here's why I say, and I guess I'll end it with this. Here's why I say that he needs to leave for Luka. Luka's behind the 8 ball. He has no MVPs. He has no championships. He has 6 All-NBA first-team selections, which at 27 is historic to have 6 already. But that's all you have. You have All-Stars and first 6 NBA first team selections. He won a scoring title. He went to an NBA Finals. But when you start to look around and look at the Ant-Man, who's 2 wins away from going to another Western Conference Finals, Shai Gilgeous is what? He's about to get, 8th win tomorrow? So he is around 50%, if he wins tomorrow, to a second NBA title, right? 16 wins. Mm-hmm. You start to look around and be like, okay, so who's 29 and below at my age? And who's getting those accolades? And he needs to start racking it up at 27. That's my argument.
My thing is, he gotta just do something. Give me some. You got to get a finals. Get at least one thing.
He went to the finals. To be fair, he already went to the finals.
You got to do 2 things. You got to do it one more time. You got to do it one more time because I barely remember it. To be honest with you, I'm sure I'm not the only.
How about would you say who's the better player, SGA or Luka?
Who you asking?
Anybody. Who do you think is better, SGA or Luka, right now?
The league says it's SGA.
Okay.
It's Luka.
Twice.
Eagle?
I would say Luka.
Correct. I would say Luka. That's a problem for Luka. That's a problem for you, Luka. 75% of this panel think you're better than SGA. And if SGA is 9 wins away from getting 2 titles, and this week, I think he'll be announced the MVP, he has the better resume than Luka Doncic.
Team's not built around him. That's the problem. And that's what we need. We need. Unfortunately, LeBron needs to go. He needs to go somewhere else for the LA to start slowly, methodically building right up around Luka.
Correct.
That's all it is.
Correct.
It's going to take some time. It's not going to be a quick fix. And Luka's just going to have to be a little bit patient if he wants to see rings in LA. That's how I see it.
Look, Professor, what do you got, Professor?
I don't think he can be patient because, if you're looking at it right, it's going to take them 3 to 4 seasons to build a good team around him, right? But he's already 27, right? So you're 31? Talking 31.
And so what if the Ant-Man gets one?
He was already fat before.
And by the way, nobody talks
He's
about
a little more motivated this time around. He's a little more motivated.
Wait, nobody talks about this about Luka, guys. He's actually low-key injury prone. Low-key.
There's always the hamstring. God damn it.
That's what I'm saying. Here's the thing. Everybody's talking about that that Nico Harrison guy. Maybe he was right.
We're too early on that, but it looks like it's trendy. Hold on, relax. We're too early on that. Because they did call it the worst trade in the history of sports. They did call it the worst trade ever.
They got Cooper Flag. We all know that was set up. We know it was set up. There was no way they were going to get Cooper Flag when they had Luka Doncic. There's no way.
Any thoughts about Wemby getting ejected today in the T-Wolves tying the series? We all agree, right? That was 4-2. He should have got suspended.
The law is hard, but it is the law. If you intentionally use excessive force, it hurts me because the Spurs were on their way to winning that game, getting a 3-1 lead, and possibly ending it in the next game, right? And now things change because we have to think about if it's, if the league is going to allow him to play game 5, right? If it's going to get suspended or not. Things getting interesting. It reminds me of Cavaliers and Golden State when the Draymond was suspended game 5 as well, I think.
They were up 3-1. He missed game 5. By the way, you know who benefited from the suspension? OKC in the health because J-Dub is still injured. So they benefit. They're chilling. They win tomorrow. They're like, go ahead, go to game 7.
Yep.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm. All right. Any final thoughts about our topic in hand?
Don't come to New York.
All right.
Bye LeBron.
Yeah, don't come to New York.
It's dangerous to go alone.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Let us know what you think. You think LeBron stays in LA or he goes somewhere else? If you do say he goes somewhere else, where do you think he's gonna go? Agree with something? Let us know. If you don't, we want to hear your comments as well below. So keep your fandom alive and your warm prepping page. Until next time, fellow nerds, this is Nerd Freaking News.